It's better. Hi, girls. Oh, boy. Remember to breathe and go slow, okay? All right. Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Yes, we're twins. The
Hunt
Hunt
twins, if you're from Champaign.
I'm the nice twin.
Mean twin.
I'm the quiet twin.
Bossy twin. Often out front, often outspoken.
Often needing to be the center of attention. Hey. Well, it's true. It's very true. I usually got to come along, though, for the ride, or the show, should I say. We were always putting on a show, a song and dance.
Yes. If the Hunt twins were together, we were often singing and dancing and acting a fool. Like that time we both auditioned for Cinderella out of Parkland.
Oh.
We didn't actually get cast,
No.
but we weren't having it.
No, Mama Carol marched us right back in there and said, give us another chance, please. We gave them our best rendition of that, what's it called? The American Tale? Five Goes West.
Somewhere out there.
Somewhere out there, yes.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
They just couldn't resist. They created little roles just for us. Andrea and Angela, the dancing twin mice.
And that was third grade. Who would have thought this mouse metaphor would have stuck all these years later?
Yeah. City mouse.
Country mouse.
We're townies, through and through. Sometimes it feels like maybe we know everyone in this town, or quite possibly everyone knows us. We also have a beautiful sister, Reagan, who people often think that she's our triplet. We have strong family ties here. Dixons, Browns, Spencers, Hunts. We got a big old family. Strong roots in CU for sure.
Oh, for sure. We're proud Holy Cross Crusaders. Class of 97, Central.
Wood.
Heck, our first job was at Bagelman's.
Ooh, Bagelman's.
Who
Remember
remembers
Bagelman's? Yes. Yes. We were cheerleaders. We were basketball players. We were volleyball players. We were track stars.
Wait, Andrew, no one is a track star.
Listen. All I know is that my shoes matched my outfit, and I looked good doing whatever I was doing, which really wasn't much.
Wasn't much at all. We were in musicals, the Sunshine Dinner Playhouse, CUTC. We did a little bit of it all, really.
We look alike.
We talk alike.
We laugh the same.
We have the same mannerisms.
We even have twin telepathy.
Oh, yeah, we've got that hundreds of miles away from each other, and we could just tell that something wasn't quite right. We'd pick up the phone and confirm our suspicions often.
It's one of those magical abilities that comes from sharing a womb with someone for 9 months.
You know, it wasn't so magical. That no one knew I was there until like 2 weeks before Mom had us.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, about that. Yeah, Mom was told she was having one giant baby.
Yeah, I was only like 3 pounds. This one was like 7.5 or something. Clearly, you were sucking up all the juice and all the attention just from day one. Thanks.
Sorry. Yes, I finally rolled over and introduced you to the world. The doctor had to be so embarrassed.
So embarrassed. Yes, we too were baby A and baby B for like 2 weeks in the hospital while I grew stronger. While I tried to thrive. And they were trying to figure out what to name us. From that day on, though, we were pretty inseparable. Well, at least for like the next 18 years, right?
Yep.
Growing up with your best friend and your partner in crime, though, does have a lot of pros and cons.
It often felt like it was you and me against the world. While it may have seemed like we had a giant circle of friends, Ange and I struggled over the years with not feeling like we fit in. We were often left out of things, not necessarily on purpose, but I think people often thought, well, they have each other, so they don't need any other friends. Or, I don't want to have to invite both of them, so I'm not going to invite either one of them.
Dude, we didn't get invited places because you didn't get along with others. I wanted to go places.
Well, that's another story.
You didn't always play so nice. I'm just saying. Well, then we graduated from high school and we separated for the first time in our lives.
Did we even talk about separating? Did we even hug it out?
Oh, good Lord. No, we didn't hug it out for sure. We did commemorate the moment with a couple of sweet matching lower back rainbow tattoos. Hey. So nice.
And with that, this city mouse was off to see the world. I had some exploring to do.
This country mouse was off to Normal, Illinois. I became an ISU Redbird. I didn't stray too far from my roots. I remember pulling up to the dorm, though, and being strangely just at ease. Like, I I was excited, like all freshmen were. I just wasn't nervous or scared. I had this confidence that I really just couldn't pinpoint yet. I didn't have any flashy dreams or aspirations what I was going to do in college like this one did. But I was there. But I was alone for the first time. And I was freaking loving it! Whoop, whoop. I wasn't in Andrea's shadow anymore. I wasn't getting cast in all the chorus roles as she got all the leads. I had this newfound individual spirit that was just like bursting at the seams, and I was so eager to see what I could do by myself. I found myself seeking out new ways to stand out and to not look or dress like anyone else. I did my own things, and often the opposite of what people were doing around me. I found myself singing and dancing at parties and events, which is what she would have totally done in the past. I made my own clothes to wear out at night to make sure I didn't look like anyone else. I entered a talent show for the entire ISU Greek system, and I won the whole damn thing. What? It was pretty terrific, really. I was watching Andrea from afar, though, watching her seek out her spotlight and all these amazing adventures she was going on. And that's when I really started to kind of struggle internally with who I thought I was supposed to be. For all these great things and how successful I was at college, I just kept wondering, am I missing out? Am I supposed to be bigger than this? Am I supposed to be a city mouse too? Or I don't have any big dreams. Is that a problem? And then I met Justin. I call him my hoot. He's changed everything. We were 19 and awestruck in love. Our story started in the cliche dating scene of the basement of Cam's. But this was no ordinary love, though. The simplicity and the ease of our connection was powerful, and it was perfectly imperfect. And we really needed to see where these feelings could take us. We started to build a life together that was beautiful and peaceful. And yes, that nagging feeling would rear its ugly head often of, you're not doing enough, you're not big enough. But that feeling kind of slowly started to fade away. Justin and I graduated together and moved back to Champaign-Urbana. The rest of our families were here, and we wanted to build a life surrounded by them. We moved into the family farmhouse just north of St. Joe. I told myself often, this is not forever. Lord, this is just until we find a place to move. It was free. We moved in. I was always worried that St. Joe wasn't going to be enough again for me. But the beauty of this property, the history that my family had here, and the comfort of this small town really started to grab a hold of me. My life was becoming more and more peaceful, calm, and meaningful. Rebuilding these acres in the 180-year-old farmhouse has been a hell of a lot of work. It's been a labor of love, though. And just like the love I'd found in Justin, it was meaningful and it gave me purpose. The universe led me here, and I needed to stay rooted, make this life grow, and blossom in the country. Cheers to Justin and I. This will be 20 years of making the farm our home now. Of letting the universe show us the way. We're the 5th generation to do so in this place. We're raising 2 amazing children, Iris and Jillian. I heard you out there. I truly enjoy cultivating this land and building an environment for my girls that is simple and yet creative. I hope to teach them how to build a home and a life that is heartfelt and meaningful with your own 2 hands, just like our parents taught us to do. There are definitely times when I look up at the night sky and I wonder, did I choose the right choice? To stay, to choose peace and simplicity over these big flashy dreams like Andrea had. But I listened to my heart, I took a lot of deep breaths, and I focused on making life easy and uncomplicated. I found my calling as a nurse, and most recently in hospice. I find satisfaction in helping others in my community find their own peace and their own quiet in the time that they have left. Every time I think life might be a little bit too boring and a little bit too quiet, I get reminded that I'm a twin, and she's living this beautifully complicated life that I get to be a part of. I really do have the best of both worlds. She always has needed me to be the steady one, the quiet one, the bringer of peace. She needs her country mouse.
The first stop on my journey was Drake University in Des Moines, Iowa. I was full of confidence, excitement, ambition. I was going to double major in musical theater and theater education. I was ready. I was on my way. I was there to make my mark. I was getting cast. I was making friends. I was meeting boys. I was doing it. Yet, for the first time in my 18 years, I felt alone. Super alone. My sidekick wasn't there. I mean, my ace in the hole, my forever go-to, built-in best friend, confidence machine, was no longer standing there with me to take every step. And it was super weird. I felt a strange longing, like I was looking for something, and I was never satisfied. I began my quest for greener grasses that year. From then on, there was always something else I was supposed to be doing. There was always somewhere else I wanted to be. There was always someone else I thought I was supposed to be. After a successful first year at Drake, I was obviously ready to move to New York City. But, guys, it was time. I didn't need my scholarship. I didn't need gen eds. I didn't need sororities or guidance. It was the first feeling that I needed something else. I was 19, blindly fearless and headstrong with an invitation to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. Now this is where I belonged. This is where I was going to find me and who I was supposed to be in New York City. I spent 2.5 years in New York. I started my first A-Hunt design business there, painting for people and writing poetry. I taught myself the city. I waited tables. I bartended. I moved 6 times in 2 years. I fell in love. I danced. I partied. I had the absolute time of my life, but I really fell out of focus with why I went there. When I finished my first year at the academy, I was invited back for a second year. But within the first week, I was told that if you want to go do that singing and dancing bullshit, then there's the door. This is theater. So I left. Yeah. But hey, guys, I knew what I was doing. I was 20 years old, living alone in New York City. I had it all under control. I had it. In reality, my soul just needed the next thing to start. And while looking for that, New York City began to chew me up. I woke up on September 11th, 2001 to watch the World Trade Center fall. It was time. I needed the next thing to start. My next stop was Chicago, where I dove deeper into the hospitality industry and deeper into my search for myself and what would make me whole and happy. The further I would dive into something that I thought felt right, be it a job or relationship, the further from happiness I would fall. In 2016, my restless spirit thought that happiness would be on the other coast. So I headed west. California was a fresh start, a new relationship, a chance to begin yet again. No more heartbreak, no more job changes. This was it. Well, I married it 2 years later. This was all I ever wanted. To be loved, to be happy, to have a purpose, to be needed. I was going to stay put. I was helping him run his business. I did his bookkeeping. I did his marketing. He was following his dreams, and I was a part of it, and it felt so great to be needed and wanted and successful at something, anything. I had found purpose, and I was bound and determined to make it right. And to stop moving and stop searching and looking for love. This was it. Wasn't it? It wasn't. Shortly after we married, it fell out of love with me and in love with one of my best friends. Yeah, that hurt. Like, deeply. Like on a level I didn't even know existed. My greatest fear of being alone and not being enough blew my shallow little world apart. So here I was with no job, no husband, no friends, no passion, no confidence, no money, no twin, nothing to call my own. This was rock bottom. I packed up what little I had and I headed east. I'm pretty sure I drove straight to the farm, straight to Ange. I spent 3 months there putting my soul back together, gardening with her, drinking wine with her, hanging with her kids, soaking in her simplicity, letting her set me straight and tell me the truth about what I had become and how I got there. Over and over and over again. I was so hurt and I was so unwilling to change the narrative of this woe is me story in my head until one day Ange just snapped at me. Enough! God, enough! Stop. Just stop talking about it. I'll never forget that day. And it just clicked. It was the tough love that only she could give me. And she was right. Everything changed that day. As crazy as it sounds, I actually packed up the next week and I headed back to California. Back to the heart of the hurt. I wasn't done out there. I wasn't going out like this. I wasn't closing that chapter of my life on somebody else's shitty terms. I found a comfortable job. I worked out every day. I started singing and dancing every day. I stayed in the light no matter how much the darkness wanted me back in. And I enrolled in the San Diego School of Floral Design. I took nightly classes, and after about a couple weeks, the instructor pulled me aside and said, "Hey, I think you've really got something here. You should pursue this." And so I did. And with that tiny boost of confidence, I found something that was 100% for me for the first time. Something that I was good at. Something that made me happy and made other people happy and could make money. I was hooked. In the past 10 years since, I have learned first and foremost to get out of the way of the universe. Stop searching and setting expectations for what you're supposed to do or feel. Stop pushing against life to get what you want, instead of just going with its beautiful, messy flow. And in doing so, I married a beautiful man. And I had 2 rock star children, Maxwell and Warren. I nurtured my love for floral design as a studio florist, and in the past 9 years, I've nurtured that love, and in this year, I just opened my flower shop here in Champaign, Illinois. Whoop, whoop. In those 10 years, I have continued to move and wander, but I'm no longer lost. In 2017, my wandering spirit finally brought me back to Champaign, back to plant my roots with my family, my lifelong friends, and my twin. Never before have I felt more whole than I do now. It may have taken me 25 years, but I've stopped searching. I'm right back where I always belonged, whole, happy, and living with my twin.
Aww. It has been super amazing, though, working back on this project and reflecting on our lives and our journeys and how incredibly different they've been, but what a perfect yin and yang they are. Andrea's always had these amazing adventures, and she's taken me along with all of them. I've traveled the world because of you. But you've also had an endured heartache and hurt that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy.
Yeah. I've always looked back at Angie's life in love with Justin, and I wanted it for myself. I'm not a no-regrets person. I don't think that's realistic. I cherish the lessons I've learned that have gotten me back here today.
No matter how far she's traveled and how long it's been since we've seen each other, our undeniable connection and love and respect for each other never faded.
And even though I know how very far apart we are, it helps to think we might be wishing on the same bright star. And when the night wind starts to sing its lonesome lullaby, it helps to think we're sleeping underneath the same big sky. Somewhere out there, if love can see us through, then we'll be together somewhere out there, out where dreams come true.